everybody. Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching in a very cold day here in Wisconsin, but I wanted to share with everybody, I keep reading and I keep looking at all these tools, and I suffer very much so from shiny object syndrome problem. And there's so many things coming at us so fast. And one of the things that fundamentally I think we have to do is solve a problem. We get caught up. I know I do. We can get caught up in what's possible. But what's the strategy? What's the way we're going to use AI? And for 30 some years, we've taught leaders how to coach. Now, HR and training departments typically love us because we can reinforce what they've been talking about. We can make their lives a little bit easier. Leaders who participate love it because, the more we coach, the less we have to manage. Yet, we also have to get it embedded into the workplace culture. How do we do that? So when I think about a course, let's just call it negotiation skills. Let's say it's for customer service and a sales team. They go to a workshop, they go to a classroom, they take an online course, whatever that learning component is, what happens? They take it, they go back to the office, now they have to apply it. At Progress Coaching, one of the fundamental things that we teach is something called the tiers of learning: knowledge, skill, and behavior. Knowledge, what are the steps to negotiate? Skill, how are we going to drive practice? That cannot solely be done in the training or the learning event. It has to be done on a regular basis. Number 3, confidence comes from repetitive practice and positive reinforcement. The training department doesn't have access to employees that much to provide that reinforcement. So it has to be the leaders. So when I think about the learning component and ideal performance, that middle part has always been the gap. I've said it on Training Magazine webinars where I do a lot of them, and we talk a lot about training reinforcement, the missing piece, positioning leaders to be partners in the learning process. Now, let's go back to our negotiation skills. We've got a class in negotiation skills. It's important to our business, whatever that might be. And then that middle part, what if we could hand leaders a 12-week, a 24-week, a 48-week coaching plan of how to reinforce this for one-on-one, group coaching? What if we gave them prescriptive coaching strategies they could deploy to continue to practice and reinforce the negotiation skills taught without them taking any of their in-person time? Wouldn't that make the training HR department happy? Wouldn't that position leaders to be successful? Here's why. Leaders will tell you they don't have time. Yes, it's true. We're busy. I get it. But if AI is going to automate things, wouldn't we have more time? We're still getting pushback on the time, and here's why. It comes back to 2 fundamental components or aspects of leadership. I don't know what to do and I don't know what to say. And I'm going to defend leaders. Leaders have a lot on their plate. From people saying, do you got a second? I really want to work at home 2 days a week, to someone who says, I want to get promoted. I've been here 6 weeks. Isn't it time? And then you've got somebody saying, I just want to do my job and go home. I'm 2 years from retirement. And then to that person who's always late for work saying, I'd like more responsibility. Those require conversational navigation. So number 1, leaders have to be taught a coaching framework. I want to give you a hint of what we're doing. We use the framework that we teach, QALMS, QALMS, questions, activities, learning project, motivator, and supplemental coaching, as a catalyst to build those reinforcement plans. So take negotiation skills, our hypothetical case study. And the leaders over here, what if you could build a coaching plan that would reinforce the training in a matter of seconds? So our advice is, especially when you're trying to solve a problem, in our world, it's how do we reinforce training? How do we position leaders to coach as true internal, indoctrinated, internalized coaching partners to training? Wouldn't that lead to greater talent development, greater talent retention? Of course it would. So do me a favor, if you're interested, below here will be a link to getting some information on Coach Apply Builder AI. And that's our tool that we can build out one-on-one group plans, peer-to-peer plans. We can build out coaching plans for your job description. We can do it for gaps in terms of here's a position, here's the next position. What are the gaps to get them there? We're also doing it for training courses where you upload your training course. We actually build you a coaching plan. So a little bit of a sales pitch, but let me know what your thoughts are. But make sure if you're using AI, what problem is it? What's the strategy to deploy? And you'll be ahead of the game.